On April 16, 1999, Principal Frank DeAngelis held a school-wide assembly addressing the issue of drinking and driving.
There are fewer than 36 hours until the junior and senior prom, and the safety of his students was his biggest concern.
I do not want to attend another memorial service. Look to your left,
he told them.
Look to your right. Now imagine one of them gone. We are in this together, so I want each and every one of you to repeat after me. I am a valued member of Columbine High School, and I am not in this alone.
I am a valued member of Columbine High School, and I am not in this alone.
I want to see each and every one of your bright, smiling faces back here again Monday morning. We are in this together. We are one large family. We are Columbine. We are Columbine.
Then he let us go to finish up the last day of class before the big weekend.
I'm so excited for the weekend.
All 2,000 students would return safely Monday morning after the prom.
But the following afternoon, Tuesday, April 20th, 1999, 24 of Mr. DeAngelis' kids and faculty members would be loaded into ambulances.
13 bodies would remain in the building.
And 2 more on the grounds.
It would be the worst high school shooting in American history.
Leaving our country to forever remember the name.
Columbine.
Columbine was a disaster that shook the foundations of America.
2 seniors, Dylan and Eric, embarked on a rage-filled shooting spree.
27 people were injured, and 13 people lost their lives.
This tragedy opened America's eyes to bullying and its possible consequences.
But despite the awareness that Columbine raised, shootings are still occurring all over America.
In order to prepare for the future, we must remember what happened.
Columbine, based on a book by Dave Collins.
Brooks Brown, student at Columbine.
Frank DeAngelis, the principal at Columbine High School.
John McVeigh, a 911 operator for the Denver area.
Cassie Bernal, killed in the shooting.
Officer Jennifer Benson, first on scene at the high school.
Julie Doyle, my son died in Columbine.
We are Columbine.
It was the Tuesday after prom, and nobody wanted to be in school. Except for my psychology teacher's a tool and gives us a test on the Tuesday after prom. So now we can't even skip. Everyone was in class that day except for Eric. It was strange because it wasn't like Eric to skip out on a test. He was a smart kid. I just assumed somebody started picking on him and he got up and left. We all knew the names people called him.
Loser, freak,
Weirdo.
Fag.
I went outside to smoke a cigarette when I saw Eric. Where were you? We had a test in psychology.
Look, it doesn't matter anymore. Brooks, I like you. Get out of here. Go home.
I thought it was strange. But I guess it was just Eric being weird. Look, this is stupid, but I was the last person to talk to him.
Why didn't you do something?
I should have known something was up.
You could have made a difference.
If I could go back and do something different, I would, but I can't. Instead, I just left.
At 11:18 a.m., the bombs Dylan and Eric planted in the high school failed to go off.
Without the bombs, it took them 1 minute to decide to move ahead with phase 2.
At 11:19 a.m., Dylan and Eric opened fire on Columbine High School.
He's got a gun?
I was in my office when I was told that there might be a shooting. So I ran across the school to investigate when I saw the shooter standing across the hallway. It felt like time was standing still. I've never been more scared in my life. So I rounded up the students around me and took them through the gym and out the back door. I saw the sheriff and I told him about the shooters and I tried to go back in to save more students.
Stop! Nobody is allowed in!
But the police wouldn't let me.
This is for your own safety!
Those are my kids in there! This is my family! So I rounded up all the students I could and led them as far away as possible. Because if I couldn't go back in to save more students, I would make sure the ones that were safe would stay that way.
The police department set up a perimeter around the building.
Even though the media had started reporting the shooting,
Few people knew exactly what was going on inside.
The most confused were the people still trapped inside the high school.
Students and parents desperately called 911 to try and figure out what was going on.
As a 911 operator, we're trained to stay on the line to keep the caller calm. The ironic thing is, other than sending the police, there really isn't anything we can do. When Columbine happened, so many people called, and I tried my best to help them, but I just didn't know what to say.
Hi, I'm Kathy Turner from MSNBC. If you have any information on the Columbine shooting, I can patch you through and have you talk live on air.
Ma'am, I have no information about the shooting.
I think we're entitled to know if our children are safe.
Ma'am, we have a lot of units out there right now.
I just heard gunshots at my school and I don't know what to do.
Listen, you need to hide and do your best to stay safe while police handle the situation.
My son is Eric Harris. I believe he's involved in the Columbine shooting.
Have you spoken to your son today?
No. Have they picked anyone up yet?
They're still looking for suspects.
Hi, I'm a teacher at Columbine High School. I'm in the library. I've got kids down under the tables.
Ma'am,
Kids head under the tables!
we've got help on the way.
God, they're here?
Ma'am, stay on the line with me. Ma'am?
After entering the building, Dylan and Eric decided to go to the cafeteria.
The plan was to incite the largest amount of casualties and be seen by the most amount of people.
Luckily, Coach Dave Sanders evacuated the cafeteria as soon as word of a shooting spread.
It is believed that Dave Sanders ran back to the library to try and evacuate more students, but ran into the shooters along the way.
Dave Sanders was the only teacher to die in the Columbine shooting.
At approximately 11:29 a.m., Dylan and Eric entered the library.
I was in the library studying Macbeth for a test I had later. I like sitting in the library. It was always peaceful and quiet, and I felt like I could get the most work done. But then Miss Blake came in and started screaming for everyone to get under the tables, and I was so confused.
Hi, I'm a teacher at Columbine High School. I'm in the library. I've got kids under the table.
We were all in shock.
What's going on?
Kids head under the tables!
We'd never seen a teacher act like that. And then Eric and Dylan walked in.
Oh God, they're here?
I just closed my eyes and started praying.
It is allegedly reported that before she was shot, Cassie was asked if she believed in God.
Cassie responded with,
Yes. Yes, I believe.
After they left, Dylan and Eric roamed around the school for roughly 20 minutes before returning to the library.
at 12:02 p.m., they took their own lives.
Though the violence had ended inside the school, tensions continued to rise outside the building.
Even though it had been almost an hour, no police had entered the building and there was no information on the shooters or those shot.
Parents were outraged and demanded both information and action from the police.
Look, all we knew was there were shooters in the school and bombs planted in the building. Protocol says you set up a perimeter. No one enters the building, nobody leaves the perimeter. That's what we were supposed to do, and that is what we did.
What's going on?
Where's my kid?
People kept criticizing us, saying we weren't doing enough.
It's been almost an hour.
Why aren't you doing anything?
We're doing everything we can.
You should be in that building!
Do your job.
My job? I'm doing my job. This is a hostage situation. You don't just run into a building with bombs, guns ablazing. This isn't a movie or some TV show. It's real life. There are rules to follow. I'm just a cop, okay? I couldn't run in there and save all those kids. Sometimes people forget that.
At 1:09 p.m., SWAT entered the building to do a sweep of the school. It had been 2 hours since the shooting started.
Only after SWAT cleared the building did the gravity of the situation truly start to sink in.
12 students and 1 teacher were killed. 27 students were injured.
The sheriff declared the entire building a crime scene, leaving the victims of the shooting still inside.
This left some parents unaware as to
Whether or not their children were alive.
I was at work when I heard about the shooting and I left for the school immediately. When I got there, I saw all the other parents being reunited with their kids.
Oh my gosh!
Megan, I'm so glad you're okay.
They all looked so happy. I wanted so desperately to be one of them. Eventually, a group of us was rounded up and told that there was a bus to the county library with students, and if we waited, we'd be reunited with our kids. The county library is only about a half-mile away, so it shouldn't have taken long to get here, so I waited. And with each minute that I waited, I knew that my son was dead. But I still waited there for an hour, trying to convince myself that he wasn't. Someone had made a horrible mistake. There There were no other buses. And now my life will never be the same.
Columbine was a tragedy that affected more than just the people involved. It affected the entire country.
And though it has been over 10 years since the tragedy happened, more shootings are occurring every day.
July 16, 2012, Aurora, Colorado. 13 killed, 28 injured.
August 5th, 2012, Sikh temple in Wisconsin, 6 killed, 3 injured.
August 13th, 2012, Texas A&M University, 3 killed, 2 injured.
In less than a month, 3 separate shootings occurred, leaving over 20 dead and over 40 injured.
Though the motives for these shootings are unknown and often disputed, one thing remains clear.
That we must never forget the tragedies that have happened.
And that we must always work towards preventing future tragedies.
Together, we can make a difference.
We are united.
We are
Columbine!